shout out show is actually happening kind of on time this week, and that's because it's going to be fairly abbreviated. Not necessarily because of the same reasons why the main episode was abbreviated this week, but because it's just we got a whole bunch of stuff in the last one, and it kind of comes in waves. Sometimes there's a lot, sometimes there's not much, and this is a not much kind of week. So, here we go. Hello nerds! Did you recently comment or subscribe or follow or DM or otherwise culturally engage in this conversation that we are having here or on any other platform where you can find my annoying voice? Well, if you did, then it's my turn to say hi back. This is the Shout Out Show. Alright, so new subscribers that have their settings set to public. We only have one. It's over on the second channel. Dean Lancaster Music has subscribed to to the Nerd News Clips, rather. So thank you very much there, Mr. Dean Lancaster. And then we only have one comment. That was not on a verboten video. And it's from, and no Nerdagon this week. That is because of the time constraints. But no Nerdagon this week. I'll put on, you'll see him. He'll be the subscribe reminder. But aside from that, we're not going to see Nerdagon this week, unfortunately. So the one comment we got this week was on a reaction video for a band called Scene Queen. And yeah, here we go. This is Scene Queen reaction video. The comment comes from Lord Spunk. Lord Spunk says, "Big fan of Scene Queen, but 100% from an objective standpoint, I can see why people wouldn't like her. Music, it definitely lacks when it comes to lyrical choice. However, I do enjoy the concept of people just having fun with music, regardless of how much sense it makes. And just to clarify, the band she's talking about is All Time Low, who was accused of having relations with an underage fan or something along those lines." Punctuation is your friend, Mr. Spunk. I'm just saying. Chris Simpson's artist is wonderful and all, but you're not him. So yes, this is the kind of stuff I like to hear from fans of music that I am not a fan of. Because if you can recognize that I like this thing, but I can see why you don't like this thing, that's a beautiful thing. We should all be able to make that delineation between this is a thing that I like, but not everyone has to like the same stuff I like. And I can understand why there would be a difference of opinion. That's wonderful. Please continue to live your life this way. However, I do enjoy the concept of people just having fun with music, regardless of how much sense it makes. I fully agree with that as well. However, this is where I'm going to give a little bit of pushback. When you're presenting your content as being deep, when you're presenting your concept as having meaning, and then it doesn't have meaning, or it is just as empty and vapid as all of the other stuff that you're supposed to be commenting on, that's where I have a problem, because then you're not being honest with yourself or with your fans. And that just, because I listen to, all right, so one of my top 10 bands of all time, one of the top 10 bands that I love, that I think everyone should like, though I like you, can understand why you wouldn't, is a band called Clutch. For a good portion of their career, the first probably third or so of their career, Neil Fallon, the vocalist and lyricist for Clutch, wrote gibberish. Legitimately just put words together that sounded cool, and I love it. It's good stuff, but he was very upfront about the fact that, yeah, well, anyone can write lyrics that make sense. I want to write something that sounds cool. Like, that is almost a quote. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but that is almost a quote from an interview I read. Anyone can write lyrics that make sense. That is just somebody having fun with words. That is just somebody having a very superficially fun time with the music that they make. Whereas Scene Queen writes something called 18 Plus, and she's trying to expose something that apparently, if it's true, because I haven't looked into this at all, because you're the first person to actually give me the possible thing that she's talking about. If it's true, happened so long ago that it's no longer relevant in the social conversation, or happened like All Time Low is a fairly notable band. So if All Time Low did this, then I feel like it would be much more propagated throughout the music media, right? Like music news websites would talk about this a lot more. So it either happened so long ago that it's no longer relevant, or it didn't happen and it's just a rumor, so you're propagating rumors, which, I mean, maybe don't do that, because that's kind of one of the things that, whatever, irrelevant to the point. There is no logic between let's have fun but I'm gonna sound like I'm saying something important. Like that those two things are just so anti one another that it just doesn't sit well. Kind of is what it is. I think that's everything. Yeah, like I said, short show. But yes, I'm not opposed to people having fun with music. That's one of the things that music is good for, is to have a good time. I listen to the band Head Automatica. Those guys are freaking amazing, and 100% superficially just a fun time to listen to. So whatever. I think I've drilled that point home fairly well. So thank you very much, nerds, for joining for a very short shout out show. If you want to get your shout out, then you have to subscribe. And if you have your settings set to private, then subscribing is great, and I wholeheartedly endorse the subscription, but I won't be able to see your name, so you'll have to leave a comment. Or you can join the live show. Very likely, I'm not going to commit to this just yet, but very likely we will be doing a live show for the news in a couple of weeks when I get back from taking care of my parents. So that would be a fantastic opportunity to get a shout out immediately, because I have the conversation with people in chat. We do it on the YouTube channel, so definitely join the live show. And until then, nerds, I guess I'm gonna have to sign off. So we'll see you next time. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here, and I'm gonna shout you out.